good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're watching this, and welcome back to Tekkit Main. Here we are in episode number 1. Now, obviously, you're very aware there are 2 prequel episodes before episode 1, but here we are. Now, since the first prequel episode, what I've done is finished gathering all of the resources, not all of them, but most of them, and I've also been up to the surface, and I've killed a few cows in order to get myself some steak, but most importantly, I wanted the leather. Because that's not right. I want to build, I'm probably going to need a couple of backpacks. Not really enough leather left to do anything. Oh, I've got 2 in here as well. Still not really enough left to do anything with. But basically, I want to take all of these resources, which includes some extra diamonds that I found. So while I was digging out the remaining resources, I did find a couple more, I wouldn't say hidden, but extremely welcome diamonds within the different menus that were available within different menus. Yes, that's what I meant. No, within the different sort of mine areas that I was in, underneath some of the ores, underneath some of the stone, just as I was digging around, I managed to find some more. I've also got lots of other useful resources I want to make sure to take with me. Actually, I think I'm going to be able to get most of this, aren't I? Anything cool in here that I need? Take the melon seeds. Take the cocoa powder seeds. Excuse me. Perfect opportunity to cough. So we'll take the cobble. We'll take the stone pick. We'll take. I don't really need a stack of stone out. We're going to have no need for the axe. Got a peridite sword now, so that's all good. So what I will do though is use the axe to collect the chests. And if we move all of this to like this corner over here, we should be able to mine this chest out. Oh, I picked the wrong one at 50-50. What are the chances of that? And we're going to want this. And we're going to want this. And that means now, hopefully, we should be able to travel to my new home pretty safely. Now, we'll leave this here because it's always worth coming back to. There's still plenty more resources to collect. But we'll see what we find outside in the real world. I do know where I want to go and live because I already, when I was collecting and looking for cows, I found an area over here that I think is where I want to set up my starting base. Now, it's 500 meters away, and I don't want to waste the whole of this episode traveling, so I will cut the episode here and bring you back in when I get to the plains and the hilltop. Bye for now. And we're back, and we've arrived just short of my new hilltop location. So this is on the outskirts of the jungle, across a little river, a small desert area. I found this. There we go. And I think it's a perfect location for my new base, mostly because there's loads of sheep. Tempted just to give a few of them a good murdering, but I won't because I will be able to get them sheared and keep them alive. So I think the hilltop is a perfect location because we've got a snow biome over there, got a plains biome over there, got a jungle biome just behind us, some sand for sand we need for glass, plenty of sheep. I think there were pigs as well when I was here before. Obviously we've got cows in the jungle for some reason. It's all good. It's all wonderful. So this is going to be the site of my new home. Going to require some work. I'm going to want to clear out quite a lot of this dirt before I start building my my home. Obviously this is eventually going to be a full hilltop house, but at first we're just going to obviously keep it small, keep it simple. But let's try and start somewhere simple. We're going to want to start maybe this area here. So we will start with a few preparation items. So we'll just throw things down initially. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is just cook up 3 pieces of, not throw it on the ground, 3 pieces of this. Should be enough, shouldn't it? And while it's cooking up that, make some sticks. Turn these sticks into a wooden gear. I guess I could also put down a chest just so that I can dump my items for a second. Get rid of all of you, get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you. Just put you off to one side for a moment. Okay, so you're finished, good. So I need 3 of them. Realize now I just put it all away, but I need some of this as well. So what we are going to make, if I remember rightly, it's as simple as that. It's not. We're going to make a grindstone. It requires dust. Right. So we're going to need 1 of my backpacks. Did I collect enough dust? Exactly. Okay. So a grindstone. Excellent. We're also going to need a wooden crank handle. So a grindstone is going to be extremely profitable for us. So we put the grindstone handle in top, and then we're going to need some iron. So what we're going to do, take 6 iron ore, for example. If I put the iron ore up here, and then just right click on this, and just click and hold. It's right click. Just click and hold. Basically, it's a manual equivalent of the pulverizer. So I am hopefully generating the iron ore dust, which I can then put into here to get me some ingots that I can then use to make some shears, which I can then use to make a bed. And that's all going to be gravy. But basically, it just means that I can double my ore immediately rather than having to wait for the pulverizer, which is fantastic. Excellent. So we've already got a pair of shears, which means you can say, "Hello, sheepies. Where did you go?" There's a weird graphics glitch, and I don't understand it. And it's because of my laptop, and it's a new gaming laptop that I just can't work out what's wrong with it. 3 pieces, that'll do. Don't need to get greedy. Oops. So 3 pieces of wool and 3 pieces of jungle wood gives me my bed, which will save me a lot of hassle. Now, in order to now progress and continue to, oh, you just click it and it spins quite a lot. Whee! But yeah, in order to continue with this, I'm going to now have a look at just building the basics of my home. Obviously, I need to get a few things set up. I can clear out quite a lot of this dirt and basically just get a basic platform ready. I'm going to keep it very simple, I think, at first. I've got marble. I think marble is going to be the resources that I will use to build my house, because I can turn it into marble brick and it's very pretty. But we'll start small and practical, and I'll then expand it later. So my marble is here. Let's just have a quick steak. Everyone likes a bit of steak, except the vegetarians, obviously, but they're wrong. Okay, so we've got some marble brick. Nice. So we'll encase my current temporary holding. And we will just create a nice big rectangle because it's getting dark. I can see the sun setting, so I want to get this at least livable and safe as soon as possible. Click the wrong thing. Obviously I can put windows in, I can put doors in whenever I get there. That'll be fine. Just need to make sure I've got enough of a wall around me that I'm not going to get jumped on in the night. So that means this needs to all be at least 2 high. I'm starting to feel the pressure now. It's getting absolutely pitch black. So that's that bit sorted. Missed that one, didn't I? That was my fault. We've got some torches. Just to throw down for now, just to get some light in here. Like so. Should we see if it will let me sleep? Not 3, I'm just pressing 3, just, there we go. Sorted. So we're done. So we survived our first night outside of the safety cave. But we now need to have a look at building some basic machinery. So the first thing I want to have a look at building is realistically going to be the thingamajig, the pulverizer and the furnace. That's total brain fart. So the pulverizer is going to require a machine block, which is iron, glass, and gold. So we can get all of that out of here. And basically, it's just going to be a case of cranking this up, isn't it? So we're going to have to crank this up quite a lot in order to get the dust, because it's worth it time-wise, not for the video-wise, because I'm going to skip it in a second, but it's worth it because it means that we will effectively double all of our ores and not have to worry so much about, obviously, not sure how, oh no, the crank broke. So they do have a lifespan, which is quite logical. Let's grab some coal. We might as well use the coal that we've got to start the smelting. Luckily, cranks are nice and cheap to make. They only require 5 sticks, so 6 sticks. So we need 2 gold, I think, for a machine frame. We're going to need 2 machine frames, aren't we? So we might as well build the 2. Of course, there's no indication of actually when it has successfully done it. Oh, it does stop when it's finished. So we could build another furnace. That would make sense. Stack it on top of this one. Why would you cook the coal? And then we're going to need some glass. So we're going to need some sand. Luckily there is small pockets of sand, very close isn't the right word, because at the bottom of my hill, which I can already predict is going to kill me at least once from jumping or falling or being blown off it by a creeper. So it looks a bit messy, but we'll aesthetically deal with this issue a bit later on. Okay, so we've got some glass. Well, we haven't. We've got some. We've got some glass. Oh, actually, have I managed to walk my way off the side of my cliff in such a way that I can't get back up again? think I might have done. Well, I'm going to need to build a stairway up here anyway, so at least I'm doing it now, I guess. And it gives my other resources a chance to cook, obviously. So that was my intention all along. So that's gold. We need copper as well. So let's get into my backpack and get some copper. Again, we'll give it the old twisteroo treatment. See if we can get all the way through this pile without breaking the crank. Come on. Let's do it in glass. Put the copper in there. We're going to need some redstone as well. I know this. Going to need a piston. That should be easy enough to build. What else do we need? Oops. So piston is... No, why don't we use coloured wool? Piston is doable already, isn't it? It'll just be some redstone out of one of my things. Get some redstone. So we should be able to build the piston. Pistons come up a lot, so we'll build 4 for now. Need some flint as well. Really should have color coded them on my backpack, shouldn't I? Okay, so let's have a look at building the, not the machine frame yet, because I've thrown the pistons on the floor. Build the machine frame. Now we should be able to. Yep, and then we should be able to build the redstone reception coil. Build 2 because I know I'm going to need them. We should therefore be able to build... Oh, add left redstone in. Build a pulverizer, our first machine. Yeah. Also going to want a... Ooh, what is this? Interesting. Another way of doing it. I'll have to have a look at that later on. We need some bricks for an electric furnace. That's going to be a problem. We'll have to go and get some clay. But we will have a look at the first sort of machine. So there's a change in the power system now within Tekkit. We're no longer using our well-known Minecraft joules. Some of the machines have now switched to redstone flux. And redstone flux is generated by dynamos, as far as I'm currently aware. So we need to have a look at building one of these dynamos. So basically the earliest one we can do is a steam dynamo, which is copper gears, transmission coil, which is silver, and some copper ingots. So it's a lot of copper basically. So I'm going to build some copper. I'm going to need to do all of this. So I'm going to start here and click this, and I'll be back in a second when I've got enough copper. After a full day of cranking it, I have finally got everything that I need. So you're often told you shouldn't crank it all day long, especially not for many hours. It'll get raw and uncomfortable. But that's a different subject. So we need a couple of copper gears. Only 2 for now. We also need to recover all of this. We need one of these silver redstone transmission coil things. And that's it, isn't it? And there's our steam dynamo. So the steam dynamo, we should be able to connect in directly, but we don't want to do that. What we'd like to do is put down the steam dynamo and then connect it via a wire. Now there's lots more wires available now. So the leadstone energy cell requires glass, lead and redstone. So again, drop into our bag of resources, grab some lead, throw it into here. I only need one, don't I? Obviously. Hit the crank, continue cranking it. Oh, it's always good to crank it hard. Nice and cranking, get it going, get a rhythm going. Can just hold it, there we go. Cranked, doubled the ore. So it's only a very minor manualized pane, but basically it allows you to crank it good. So the steam dynamo is going to require water, which is why I have buckets. I have been down to the lake and I have collected 2 buckets of water, as is the standard to create an infinite pool. Once I have my lead, I can then hopefully build some leadstone energy conduit, which is a cheap equivalent. Put this down like so. We're then going to need to build a wrench, which, if I remember rightly, so I've not checked this one actually, is a stone gear with 3 iron ingots. Yep, a wrench. And then we can hit the dynamo with the wrench and it will connect. It's got to be an output. Okay, that's changed. That's not the interface we need. So then, all we need to do is from the backpack of resources, which happens to be the other one, we need to get some coal. Any equivalent fuel is possible, but put some coal in here, and then with the bucket, just add water. And the steam dynamo will start to produce steam and power. And then what we could do is take, let's say, the iron that I've already got in my inventory, throw the iron that I've already got in my inventory into here, and it starts to pulverize it. Take this chest, put it on this side for now, and tell it to output everything into that chest. And it'll start to populate the chest with resources. So we have our first automated machine. We are in the world of Tekkit. We are building machines. Fantastic. What a successful first day, or first episode. We are in the world of automation. We have an energy, we have a generator. It's producing redstone flux. Now we need to get the automation of the water, obviously, putting the water into the steam dynamo, which we should be able to do with an aqueous accumulator. What does this require? This requires interesting things. Nothing that's particularly beyond the scope and or domain. I don't want to use glass bricks, but glass bricks seems interesting. So there's nothing particularly difficult here to get the aqueous accumulator. So what do we need? A machine frame. We should be able to do that pretty much instantly. We should be able to do this pretty much instantly. I've got a bucket already, I don't need to do that. Tin is the only thing we're missing. Whoops. So I've got to guess which one of these backpacks has got my resources in it. So tin. I no longer need to go through the process of tediously doing it manually. I can put it into here now. Pulverized tin. Cook up the pulverized tin, and while it's doing that, I will grab a stack of 64 iron and put that in the pulverizer because it's always worth it. Come on, get me some tin. I want to finish this episode with an accumulator. It's a bit further than I wanted to go with this episode. So there's the aqueous accumulator. Put that down there. Just to float with water. Now, what have we got for liquiducts? Oh, we don't. They're not called liquiducts anymore. Fluid? Fluiduct. copper and hardened glass. Now hardened glass is a bit beyond me right now. Anything else I can make it with? Aha! Fluiduct is lead and copper. I thought there was a cheap one. So we've got our pulverizer. Quickly pulverize that lead for me. So the new Tekkit does have cheap options. So we do have the ability to produce things much more cheaply than we did before, which is exactly what we wanted. So this opaque fluiduct is just copper and lead. And so it's extremely cheap to produce and is going to be extremely helpful. So I'm just going to chuck it on the floor in anger anyway. So 2 copper and 1 lead gives me fluiduct, which I can then, I believe, simply click there. And this will now start randomly letting me click on things and drop them down. And if I try and pick it, it doesn't click. This will now be kept at max. There's no need to produce any more because this doesn't have the requirements for any more. So the dynamos are smart. Doesn't waste fuel to build more steam until it needs to build more power, which is fantastic. And so yeah, we are automated. Now in the next episode we need to get the furnace going so that we can start cooking up the ingots. Once we've got the furnace going, we can then have a look at building our first quarry. I think you need to go down into the river and collect some clay. So I'll do that between episodes. But I hope you've enjoyed episode number 1 of my season 2 Tekkit main Let's Play. We have our first automated machines: power, water, and pulverizer. Bingo bango. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you shortly for episode 2. Bye for now, guys.